Welcome everybody. We are so glad that you're here to learn about the essentials of our health. We know that health is so important and has been on the forefront of all of our minds, especially the last, over a year now. We live in a world of information overload and also misinformation at times. So I think it's important that we come and talk a little bit about some of these things tonight. So of course, there are many factors that go into our health and overall well-being, like eating healthy things, choosing real whole foods, moving our body, getting in enough water and sleep, watching your stress levels. But is that enough? In our world, we know that our soil is depleted. We have tons of toxins that we come into contact with every single day. Our food is overprocessed. We are on sugar overload, medication and antibiotics galore. And we know that we need more than just the daily diet to get us all of the nutrients that we need. We're not doing a great job on our own most of the time. So this is where Plexus can come in and could be the answer for you and be a part of a solution that you are looking for. It has been for us. I'm Jody McComas and I am a mom of two. I've been married for almost 20 years now, and I am passionate about helping other people find health and thrive and not just survive. And the reason is because I spent the majority of my life struggling with chronic illness and health struggles of all kinds, so many different things that I had been diagnosed with. I had specialists for everything. I was doing all of the right things. But in that process, I had learned that there are some pillars to our health that we need to be addressing as a result of being at all of those doctors and my naturopath. So what are those pillars? The three pillars are blood sugar regulation, reducing inflammation, and gut health. And everyone needs blood sugar regulation. We have spikes up and down all day long in between our eating and what we eat. Those things are going to spike. It will affect our sleep, our hormones, all kinds of things. And then our gut, that's our second brain. And it is 75% or more of where we get our immune health and our serotonin, which affects mood, sleep, again, all of those things. And then inflammation is connected to so many things in our life. So those really are the three pillars. Again, is going to affect everything from autoimmune disease, sleep, mood, weight balance, digestion, immunity, cravings, and so much more. So now we are going to get to hear from three women who have found that filling the gaps with our products with Plexus have really helped them in their health and in their life and even in their finances. We'll get to hear just a little bit about that, but mostly I want them to share their health stories with you. They are three different seasons of life and lots of different health struggles across the board. And so I'm really excited for you to get to hear from them. And the first friend that we get to hear from is Becca Anderson, and she is a school teacher, fitness instructor, part-time nanny, personal assistant, all of the things. She's newly married and she has an awesome story. So Becca, take it away.
Hello, I am Becca. I have been using Plexus for 2.5 years now and just loving it. Prior to Plexus, did my best to live a healthy lifestyle. I've always been pretty active. I did my best to eat mostly whole, nutrient-dense foods, but I was struggling with some issues like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. I was diagnosed with that when I was just in 4th grade. I was super young. I went to all kinds of specialists and tried many kinds of diets, medications, and just still struggled to find the answers and help that I was really seeking. So with that, I had some dairy sensitivities too. And then fast forward, about 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. And gosh, that came with so many different symptoms. I gained about 45 pounds in the matter of 8 to 9 months. It was super quick. I had no idea what was going on, and soon learned that I was having hypothyroidism. So I was put on medication for that, and that helped some, but I was still experiencing many symptoms that just really affected my energy. I was exhausted all the time. My hair was thin, and just really struggled to see the health results from my eating healthy and working out efforts that I was trying to put in, and was just ready for a change. I knew something needed to change. And when my friend told me about the product she was using, I was pretty hesitant given that I had tried so many different things, but decided that I really had nothing to lose. And now I look at it as one of the best decisions that I have made in my life, for sure. So 2.5 years later, I am free of pretty much any IBS symptoms. I'm not bloated anymore. I am regular. I don't have stomach cramps. I can eat dairy whenever I want to, which is huge. I love ice cream. And soon after starting my products, my doctor noticed my thyroid levels starting to level out. And so we had to start reducing my dosage of my thyroid medication. And it eventually got to the point where I was on the lowest dose possible. My levels were still on the lower end, and she decided that it would be a good point for me to try getting off of my medication. She was thrilled with the products I was using, thrilled with the results. And now I am, gosh, about a year later, I'm totally off my thyroid medication, maintaining normal levels, feeling better than I did in, 10 years ago when I was 20 years old. I have more energy. I no longer feel like living a healthy lifestyle is such a chore. I feel like my body is functioning the way that it is supposed to, and my body craves movement. My body craves a healthier diet. And I no longer have those cravings for those unhealthy carbs and sugars like I used to, that made that healthy eating such a battle all the time. My inflammation was gone, the puffiness in my body. I've lost probably around 15 pounds since I started Plexus, and am in better shape than I have been in my whole life. And just am thrilled with the results that I've had. And pretty soon after I started noticing these results, I knew that I needed to share with others. And that started with me just sharing with some family members and some coworkers, and seeing it help them made me want to talk about it more. It's really hard not to talk about things that you see helping yourself and other people. And I knew other people needed the same kind of help that I did. And now I've been able to help hundreds of people and impact their health. And it is just so fulfilling and life-giving to see them feeling better than they have, and to see them thriving. And it has also allowed me to step away from a job that was no longer fulfilling for me, and have much more time and financial flexibility to spend my days the way that I truly want to. But this is my story, and I hope that you found it helpful. And I certainly hope that you will take into consideration how important these 3 pillars of your health truly is for your well-being.
Thank you so much, Becca. Oh man, I resonate so much with your story. And I love too that I'm medication free. And every time I see my GI doctor, he's like, that stuff is a miracle. Don't ever stop taking it. He's like, you are a different person. Like, I wouldn't know if it was the same insights. So I love that. Thank you for sharing with us. Next, we get to hear from Crystal Wyatt. And she is a wife, a mom in full-time ministry, and a lover of dogs. Some may even say a little obsessed, but I don't think so. I love her dogs. I love all the pictures. They're so cute. So Crystal, take it away.
Hi, thanks, Jody. I am obsessed with dogs, and I will fully admit that. I started Plexus back in 2017, so it's almost been, in May, it'll be 4 years. I started because I was having some issues with anxiety. And just a little bit of a backstory, 2015, I was working a very stressful job. And my health just kind of spiraled a little bit, I would say. It was more mental health, but that affects your physical health. I soon came to realize. And I was at work one day and I felt like I was having a heart attack. I had all the classic symptoms. My chest was tight. I had pain up and down my hands, or my arms and my hands. My vision was narrowing. I was passing out. It was absolutely terrifying, especially being at work with, how embarrassing is that? So my coworker, she took me to the emergency room. The doctors ran all the tests and came back and said, everything's completely normal. You had a panic attack. And I looked at him very confused because that had never happened to me before. So that started off my journey with anxiety. It got to the point where it was so bad, I had to end up quitting my job. And that was really hard because we lived in California at the time, and pretty expensive to live there. And I had to quit my job. So that meant that we wouldn't have my income. My husband said, you know what, your health is much more important. We'll figure it out. So about a year and a half, I think it was, I battled with panic attacks. I battled with going to the store, waiting in line, driving my daughter. You guys, that was the hardest thing, is because as a mom, I'm supposed to protect her and be there for her and be able to drive her to soccer practice or to a friend's house or whatever it was. And it was terrifying for me to drive. And I think what scared me the most was I was afraid that I was going to have a panic attack while driving and not be able to get off to the side of the road fast enough. So that was very defeating for me. My husband had to take up a lot of slack after working full-time and full-time ministry. It was a very hard season. So I saw my friend Kelly post about plexus, and it didn't really catch my eye at first. I kind of just watched the stories, and then she had posted a post about anxiety and how your gut health is directly related to your anxiety. Jody said earlier, it's the second brain. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try, because I did go to the doctor and I did seek medical treatment for this. I was put on an antidepressant, which I was very confused about because I wasn't depressed. I mean, it kind of made me depressed a little bit, but I felt like the doctor just kind of threw some prescriptions at me and away I went. So I started those prescriptions, and the side effects were really hard on my body. And one of them, the most that affected me, was weight gain. And I gained a lot of weight. And after I gained the weight, I became depressed, because I feel like that goes hand in hand. So fast forward to Kelly's post. I decided, you know what, I want to get off these medications from the doctor. I don't want to live with this the rest of my life. So I decided to give Kelly a call and talk to her about it. She's somebody that I admired, I trusted, and I felt like this was my sign, like this was something I needed to pursue. So I thought, what do I have to lose? So I started with the triplex, and within a couple weeks, I noticed more energy for sure. I noticed a little bit of my brain fog was gone, because with this medication, it kind of makes you feel, I don't want to say zombie at all, but it's a brain fog of some sort. And I did not like the way it made me feel. So I went to my doctor and talked to her about weaning off of my medication. So I was using Plexus for about 8 months, 8 to 9 months before deciding to wean off my medication. And so under my doctor's supervision, I was able to go from 100 milligrams down to 25 milligrams. It took me about a year and a half, and I'm now on the 25 milligrams, and probably within the next couple months, I'll be going down to about 15, and then hopefully off from there. So it's still something that I don't struggle with as much anymore. It's not completely gone, but it is so much better. Just to give you guys kind of an idea, last 2 Decembers ago, I drove to Seattle all by myself, and met my daughter for a concert. Like that was awesome. So yeah, that's my story.
I love that. Thank you for sharing, Crystal. It's so emotional. Like these things affect our daily life and our
Yeah.
relationships and our families. And I love getting to watch that life change. It's just so life-giving for me. So thanks for sharing that. Um, and next we get to hear from Karen Chase. She is a mom of 2 college grads. She's been married for 25 years. She's a dental hygienist, and she's been with Plexus for 2 years now, and is a senior gold ambassador. And I love her story. And you guys, talk about aging backwards. That is another thing that I love about Plexus, is that we can all say like we feel better now, older than we did younger. And tomorrow's my 43rd birthday, and I definitely feel better at 43 than I did at 23. And so I love that we get to hear from Karen, and she will share a little bit of her story.
Hello. Yes, aging backward is so amazing. I am 51 years old now, and well, so far, definitely my 50s have been the best decade so far. So I started Plexus because I was having, well, I had dealt with chronic pain. Dental hygiene is not really friendly for your body and your back and your shoulders and your neck and your everything, but mostly my hip and my back had been really bad for probably 15 plus years. It was getting worse and worse. But on top of that, my gut health was becoming crazy, and I had been trying to figure it out. I had been buying all of the top probiotics, researched and tried so many of them and spent so much money and never felt them. I was using enzymes. I found out I had a gluten allergy, so I had quit eating gluten for a year before I finally tried Plexus. And so my gut was doing a bit better. And finally, I watched my cousin Carrie share for at least a year, wondering what in the world could that cute little pink drink do for anybody. And I actually told her, no, I think I'm doing pretty well. But luckily, she told me about Probio 5, what it does and kills the candida. And I thought, well, what the heck is that? I probably most likely have that, finding out that it comes from standard American diet, eating carbohydrates and sugars and alcohol and antibiotics. Oh my gosh, I grew up in the era where antibiotics were thrown at everything. I had ear infections when I was a kid. So yeah, starting from way back then, birth control, antibiotics. I had sinus infections most every year, a few times. So you got all the good antibiotics for that. So anyhow, my gut was just bloated all the time, even after a year with no gluten. I was laying in bed at night on a teeny little pillow on my stomach because it was feeling so great. So I finally started on the triplex back in February 2019. So 2 years, 2 months. And the first thing I noticed was I had energy in the evening after work to like cook dinner. I made it through the afternoon, not just waiting to get home and sit on the couch and deal with my back and be able to go to work again the next day. So I had energy. The next thing, my belly was feeling better. And I learned about regularity. I don't know how you make it to 48, 9 years old and not know that you should be going number 2, 1 to 3 times a day. Guess what? You're not so bloated when you're regular. So that was amazing. Yes, and killing off the candida. I mean, I probably had every single side effect of excess candida. So my allergies got better. I am allergic to dogs, and I also am a dog lover and have 4 in the house right now and choose to continue to have them. So I was taking an Allegra every single day and Flonase for another decade or more. So I don't need the Allegra anymore. I still use the Flonase. My asthma has gotten better. Again, the sinus infections I haven't had for 2 years. I had migraines since I was a teenager. So far, knocking on wood, I haven't had one of those. They were the random sneak up on you, blurry vision, just lovely, terrible chronic pain. You'd end up in a dark room and stop whatever you were doing that day and deal with that. Oh, my pain. I started on ease and then I added nerve. And back then, I think in 2019, I had an endometriosis surgery, excision in January, maybe February. Anyhow, then the end of the year, November, I had a labral tear repair in my hip that had been hurting for decades and nobody figured out until the endometriosis surgery. So I had those surgeries, and when I was recovering, for sure, I was on ease. And then they also nicked a nerve plexus in my hip. So I had nerve pain shooting down the side of my leg. And they said it would take at least a year, but it'll come back or get back to normal. So I took nerve and ease together. And I take ease 3 times a day. I take 2 at least, and 3 sometimes, depending. Sometimes 1. But that has replaced, oh my gosh, you guys, I was going to all these chronic pain, all these different type of specialists, trying to figure out what was causing my pain. Nobody really knew. My main doctor wanted to just prescribe pain pills, pain pills, pain pills, pain pills. I told him I cannot take these pain pills. He'd actually told me one day, you need to get over it and take the pills. I told him I cannot practice dental hygiene on narcotics. And he said, are you sure? So thank goodness for these products, because it replaced all of those prescriptions and all the 800 zillion ibuprofen I had taken over the years. And it has worked, and it keeps my back pain so much more minimal or gone, more than not. When it flares up, I have an awesome tool to get rid of it. And it's been amazing. And I didn't realize what cellular inflammation was. I was puffy and I didn't know it. And so that has gone away. And let's see, I don't need caffeine all day long. Of course, I love the energy drink. So I probably have one of those every single day in the afternoon. So at work, I'm not looking at the clock, counting down and dragging again through the day, waiting to get home to sit on the couch and do nothing. I am up and going, and you have energy to move and work out, and you feel better. And oh my goodness, the pain thing is probably my main top priority now, that I'm just amazed that it has helped and so thankful. Yeah, my moods are better. I used to be hangry quite often, and I haven't been hangry in a couple of years. So PMS is much better. I did lose some weight. And the cool thing is, the weight kind of came off with probably the inflammation and the gut getting better. But if I tend to gain some weight, I have tools to get rid of it, and it's really cool. So, oh yeah, brain fog, I definitely was brain fog, and that has gotten so much better, again, with the energy and the gut health, and it's amazing. My skin has improved, yes, aging backward. The serums are awesome. I started those, when they came out, and then the collagen. And I, for years, bought all those skincare things. I had the AM cream, I had the night cream, I had the eye cream, I had the scrubs, I had the peels, I had the exfoliators. And I did it all thinking I was like preserving my skin and, helping, but you didn't really see anything change. So what helped with those serums is just amazing. Like, I haven't worn makeup. Today I have eye makeup on because I went to work, which includes a little mascara and a little eyeshadow. I haven't worn foundation in at least a year and a half after those products came out. Of course, the wrinkles got less. My under eye dark circles got better. These lines got better. This thing was coming on and it got better. Sunspots, everything. It's just amazing. And actually yesterday I had a pulmonary test just to check out my asthma, and the 58-year-old respiratory therapist, she looked at my chart and she said, "Are you really 51?" And I said, "Yeah." And she kept looking at my skin. She's like, "Oh my gosh, your skin is so good." And So I told her what it was, and she actually signed up and purchased today. So there is that. And I wore no makeup to that appointment, and that's really cool. So gluten, now I can actually eat some gluten. I don't do it because it's not going to make my stomach great, but if I do have a little bit, I'm not miserable for 3 days. So other than that, so I started sharing because I started feeling so great. And I never used to post on social media. I was just like on there to be in touch with friends and see what everyone else was doing in the world. But I didn't post. I'm 51 years old. It was all seemed weird to me. So when I started feeling better, I had to start sharing. It also was great to get my products paid for because I was loving so many of them that that's a great bonus. Helps the husband not say, what the heck is going on? But he started using them too, thankfully, and his belly and energy and stress and thinking and everything has improved. So anyhow, the business is amazing. The community is amazing. It really was great through COVID because we connect, somewhat regularly, and it's such a positive, supportive community, and I'm learning new things and learning social media, and I'm hoping to help supplement our retirement. And yeah, it's just great to have goals, personal development, and learn new things with awesome, positive, fun people. So if you're interested in trying the products, all I can say is try it. I thought for sure I would use the 60-day money back guarantee, and no, there's no way, but it's awesome that it's there just in case. So thank you, Jody.
Oh my goodness, so much good stuff. I love it. Thank you for sharing all of that, you guys. As you have heard, and I'm 5 years in, over 5 years in, you guys, I am never going back to life the way it was. These products are simple. They are effective. They end up saving money in the long run. And like Karen just said, it's not just for women. Our husbands all use the products. My kids are on the products. They're the healthiest they have ever been. We have something for everyone. So it is safe, effective, simple, and honestly just a must-have in our life. And as you've heard, it covers like the gamut of health issues. Our skin has a microbiome, and we address that as well with our simple skincare products. But we have something for everyone. There's a combo for everyone. You guys, natural pain relief, that is a really, really big thing. Natural energy drink, that market is huge in our world, and it is so harmful, all of the chemicals and the sugar that is in that stuff. So if you want an alternative to that, and especially if you have teenagers, this is a much better alternative. So if you have questions, go back to the person who invited you. If you are curious to learn more, ask them, what is the best product for me? What would be the best combo for me? Because we want to detail it to you and your health needs. We are here to help you succeed. And like we all shared, we couldn't help but share these things because it has impacted our lives so much. And we want everyone else to feel as great as we do and get the benefits that we have from these products. So you guys, now is the time. These are the best products, is the best company, so full of integrity. And we just want you to join us. We want you to feel awesome. And I always end with this question: what if this could change everything for you too? So consider it. It is so worth it. Thanks for joining us tonight, you guys. We really appreciate it. Have a great night.